Hey there, Social Salad Society. How are you? I'm Vanessa Ann Miller. This is my first live inside this group. I'm so excited. I would say I'm nervous, but I really think that it is excitement. So you may have seen me post in the Facebook group, maybe not, who knows with that tricky algorithm, but I am what I like to call myself is the mindset of marketing coach. I help women entrepreneurs take out the mindset blocks that are keeping them from fully showing up in their business and in their marketing, and then learning how the mindset works for their buyers, for their dream clients out there. So it is a double whammy when I work with you on your mindset and your marketing. Today I'm going to be talking about why having a CEO day is a must. 4 reasons why. Before I get into that, I want to explain 3 different categories of days that I have during my balanced work week. Now, these 3 different days doesn't necessarily mean that I only work those 3 days and then that's it. Usually the 3rd day is the day where I have multiples of those days, but I get to choose. We get to choose. As entrepreneurs, we get to choose how we spend our time. So the first day that I like to have, and I usually try to start off my work week like this, is having a goddess day. A goddess day as a mom, as a wife, like a goddess day is a time for myself. So usually on Mondays, when the kids go back to school, they're back in daycare, I have my goddess day. Now, sometimes we all can't necessarily have a full-blown goddess day. So even having sometimes during the day, I'll have 5-minute goddess time. And so if you can't fully have a full goddess day, give yourself the 5 minutes and work up to half a day to a full day. But during the goddess day, I like to do things that are for myself, guilt-free. So like yesterday, I went to work out. I spent a couple of hours working out. I then went to the pool at the gym, which is a very nice resort looking type of pool at the gym. I sat there under the sun, enjoyed the sun, read my book. It's a personal development book, read that. As I got thoughts, I kind of made little notes of inspiration that came through. I allowed my body to relax and be in enjoyment and truly embody what it is that I teach about. How am I going to teach it if I don't do it myself? And so during the goddess days is where you allow yourself to activate your higher self for divine business guidance and allow clarity and creativity to come through. Now, the next day is the CEO day. After you've had your goddess day where you've allowed your nervous system to relax and you've allowed yourself to tap into creativity and clarity and flow, then you have your CEO day is where you look at things through the masculine energy eyes. You start to look at how can I plan my upcoming month in a way where I meet my income goals. And so you start to create awareness. You look at the blind spots of your business. You look at what worked, what didn't work. You look at the metrics and you look at it all, and you strictly look at the past to adjust for the future, and you plan. There is no, hey there, Vanessa. There is no, I'm not saying hi to myself. I'm saying to hi to Vanessa Zamora. There is no creating. There's none of that. You are strictly planning, looking at the metrics, and then making a plan for the future. And so when you have these CEO days, I know that a lot of times people not want to do them because they're oh my gosh, I don't want to look at the numbers. I don't want to look at who unsubscribed from my email list. I don't want to look at who unfollowed me. But I promise you, these days are so empowering. And I'm going to go through the 4 reasons why in a little bit. But the next day is that once you've had your CEO day, you planned everything out and you know what offers are going to align with your income goals and which marketing topics you're going to talk about to use to promote your offers that align with your income goals. That's when you go into your doer day. Your doer day is where you take action, where you take that plan and you put it to place and you put the blinders on. Now, when you have your Goddess Day and your CEO Day, what it allows you to do is that you naturally prioritize what needs to be done, and you set these boundaries of what you're not energetically available for. And that builds momentum when you're having those boundaries and you're having that intention. It helps build your confidence, and then that from there you continue to build the momentum and you are able to scale your business. I apologize about my dog. And so during the doer day is where you take intentional, even if it's imperfect, action and you do the thing. So why must you have your CEO Day? How is this the connector of it all? You see, the CEO Day is a way to create awareness. I had mentioned this before. It's a way to create awareness. Like, you open your eyes to what's working. You identify any kind of energy, time, and money leaks in your business. You start to realize that when you're promoting a certain offer, like, you start to say, like, okay, what worked with this? What didn't work? And then how can I use what worked better for the next offer? You create so much awareness of where you're spending your time and how it's working. And what I found was that when I first did my CEO Day in a way that was completely different than I had ever done before, I realized that the places that I was showing up and dreading, but I thought that that's where my people were coming from, it wasn't. And it proved to me, I was like, oh my gosh, like, it proved to me that your energy is so important whenever you're creating the content and you're putting things out there. And so I saw, oh, this is what's working. And I'm not even fully, I guess, so attached to that. Like, I'm just enjoying that versus me where I'm not enjoying this, but I'm feeling like, you gotta work. Makes me think of like whenever I was dating this one guy. I'm married now, but I remember dating this one guy. I'm like, you got to work. And this energy was like, and like, I'm like, please, like this desperate energy. And that never worked. And like, I didn't get the results that I wanted from that. And then when I let that go, and I was just like, when I met my husband, it was just kind of like this relaxed energy and like, oh, it's fun. And then things happen from like, I got that relationship I wanted. It happens with your business too. That is exactly, how your energy works in your business and relationships. And so when you have your CEO Day, then you're like, aha, this works. I'm going to do this over here and I'm going to double down on this. And then you get the results. Your CEO Day is so empowering. I know a lot of times people don't want to look at their metrics because they're like, oh my gosh, like, if I look at who unsubscribe, I'm going to feel like crap. But no, it is so empowering because you do create that awareness of like, oh my gosh, this is what's working. And you get freaking excited. Like, I get lit up to have CEO Days. And I know people might wonder like, okay, how often do I have a CEO Day? If you can't have one once a week, then have one at least once a month. Work your way up to having once a CEO Day and a Goddess Day once per week. If you start with once a month, but then go to once per week. But when you stop avoiding the things, of looking at the things, you're like, you're lit up, you're empowered, and then you're taking action on the things that are working, like I had mentioned before, because you're creating that awareness and you know what energy leaks are, and you know what, like, how you're going to fuel or you're going to pour into the things that are working. So those are the two. And then thirdly, you discover resources that you haven't realized that are available to you. When we take messy action in our business, and it's not intentional, it's not, it's just, you're just doing, you're just jumping. What happens is that we tend to overwhelm our minds, our brains start to clutter, our nervous system, but like we don't realize it, but like our nervous system's like freaking stressed out. And when we're stressed out, we have this gray matter in our brain. So this is kind of like some of the nerdy stuff that I do with my clients. We have this gray matter in our brains that when it's decreased, we can't make the decisions needed, like we can't rationalize. So we can't make the decisions required of us as a CEO to get the actions that we want. And so when you allow the Goddess Day to really calm your nervous system and allow yourself to have that clarity and the creativity, and then you use your CEO Day to start planning, then you're able to see like all the resources that would have made your life easier had you not had all this messy action and all these things in your head and all these things happening to your body. And so, for instance, I used to feel like I had to create a new offer, and I would not rinse and repeat certain things, or I wouldn't give myself the time to relax before creating that next offer. And it was overwhelming for me. It was so overwhelming. And then when I started implementing this thing, what I'm doing is when I was able to see like, during this time where I'm not creating an offer, like I don't have to create that offer right now. What I can do is my friend so-and-so, I'm an affiliate for her program. I'm going to promote her stuff because, I already know she's so organized. She's going to give me the affiliate assets and all I have to do is copy and paste and, maybe adjust. And while I'm promoting that and making money from that, then I can figure out what my next offer is going to be and then I can plan that. But without having the CEO day to plan things out, you're unable to see the resources that are available underneath your nose. I like to also think about like not having a goddess day or the CEO day as like not having good form. So yesterday when I was working out, we were doing this really tough, oh my God, my abs are hurting just doing this. We were doing this really tough and fast workout. And just so I can hurry up and do it, I didn't allow myself that like 10-second break, or I don't know even how long it was. Like it's probably not even that like long, but I didn't allow myself that complete break because I wanted to like keep up with everyone else. And then what happened was that instead of keeping up with everyone else, because I had that bad form and I didn't have that little bit of like a break, I exhausted myself a lot sooner than everyone else. So then in actuality, it like prohibited me from doing the thing that I needed to do. So that's what happens sometimes in our business, is that when we're taking the messy action, we're not allowing ourselves to settle down and take that break in between sets, then we're not able to really get the results that we want. And so having that CEO day allows us to discover the resources, allows us to really take a step back. And then fourth, which is kind of like what I talked about already, is that you create this balance in your life when you have a CEO day, because then you are able to plan with emotion and logic for what's coming up to be able to reach your goals. We need to have both emotion and logic whenever goal setting. A lot of times people say, just do it and then detach from the outcome. Absolutely. However, you need to have an emotional attachment to the actions that you're going to take, because you need to take ownership of that. Having ownership of like, this is my goal and I'm going to embody it so that I can be able to take the actions I needed and take action as your higher self, then that's when you're going to increase your chances of getting that goal versus just doing it and doing the motions and not really feeling into it. I think of when like taking like action or, having that emotional attachment. I think about like my daughter and how they sent out an email from her school about all the kids like doing really bad in literature, and how at first, because I have an emotional attachment to her, my brain started thinking of all the ways how to help her make sure that the grade was better. But then when I realized that she wasn't one of the group of kids that were having an issue and her grades were fine, then I was able to relax. But do you see how when you have an emotional attachment, you take ownership of something, then you start to go to work of like, okay, how am I going to reach that outcome? And not necessarily like, oh my gosh, I'm so focused on that outcome. Like, like that desperate energy. You're like, okay, let's see how I'm going to do this and how I'm going to do this in alignment and in a way that feels good. See, all of these days help balance everything out so that you are energetically holding space for yourself and for your clients. All right, how am I on time? Okay, I talk really fast, so I get all excited about this. People are like DMing me, asking me like, so how's your event going? Like my business besties and stuff, and my business buds, and like, how's the workshop going? I'm like, I'm treating it like my freaking, like I'm so lit up, like it's like as if it's my newborn baby. I'm like, do you want to see pictures? Like I'm talking about it, and they're like, dude, I just wanted to see if it was like good or what. But like, if you get into my DMs, like I'm so lit up by it, I'm going to tell you all about how excited I am for this upcoming CEO Day workshop that I have. But let me just get it out. So I have this upcoming workshop called the CEO Day. It is a 2-hour workshop where I'm going to take you through the steps of channeling your higher self for divine business guidance. Then we're going to map out your CEO day. We're going to literally, it's going to be like a blend of a co-working session, group training, total vibe. And you're going to leave the day with an outline for your doer day. So we're going to activate your inner goddess. We're going to start to do the plan to see what's going to align, how you're going to align your action steps to the goals that you want. And then you're going to have a plan to take action on that for your doer day. And what's amazing about this workshop is that I have some amazing, beautiful women that are contributing some training to it. So after you're done with the time and after you have your outline, we have the beautiful Carolyn Torres, who's on here right now. She's a lifestyle engineer. She's going to help you maximize your wellness for peak performance during your doer day. So when you have your doer day, you want to have your energy up and your focus, like just you want to have like complete focus so you can get the things done in the most efficient manner. With her wellness techniques and her tips, she's going to teach you how you can do that so you have the stamina to get through the day and still have energy for the evening for the kids and all the other things. And then we also have Emma Frerick. She is an operations and systems strategist. She's going to help you with the tech of how to systemize everything so you stay on top of it. So it's not just something that you do and then you're like, oh, I'll come back to it, and then you never continue to take action. And then lastly, we also have a bonus training from sales expert Michelle Terpstra, where she's going to be teaching you like, okay, now that you have the marketing and now you have all these other things, like how do you sell it? Like how do you sell this in the DMs and how do you sell your high ticket offer? It's going to be, like I said, a total freaking vibe. You can sign up. I'll make sure to include the link. Join us as you probably can already tell, like I'm so lit up by this. It's going to be amazing. All right. Thank you for your time. I love you. And I hope to come here live again and speak with you. And if you want to get to know me, friend request me. Let's chat. Like I'm okay. Love you. Bye.